would like this to be a place that anybody could walk into, no matter what disaster they've just lived through, no matter what disappointment they have dished out to somebody else, or no matter what kind of deserted spot they come from. We would like them to walk in here and find that at the bottom of the ditch there's still somebody there. Somebody who can still care and still hope. In the chapel soon, I'm going to have a crucifix just put on the wall. I want them to walk in here, and I think street people do see this better than most of us. And they see this image of a crucified, God-forsaken, deserted, misunderstood, judged person. And they think, well, if that's God, I know him. That's a theological way to say what I mean when I talk about making community. That people can walk in here and be at the bottom, be to the point where their pursuit of heroin has robbed them of all human dignity, but they can walk in here and find there's someone still at the bottom of the barrel. And when you get to the lowest point of the pit, there's someone there. Someone who still hopes for and sees the best, and who offers a connection, who offers to be alongside without loads of advice and without any judgment, but just be there. That's what we aim to be when we say we want to be a community. The goal of the cafe obviously is to serve food, and to serve food at a price that anyone in the wide world can afford. So you could fill up at our cafe for $2. And if you have no money, then you're offered food for free. But the system is to charge people a small amount, and that decision is based on a desire to give dignity, so that you have a decision. So food is not just handed to you like as if it dropped out of the sky, but we try to have an atmosphere that's the same kind of atmosphere. You can sit, you can read the paper, you won't be hassled by anyone, no one will ask you to hurry up, you will be served, and we hope with something extra, and that is we're glad you're here. Now, obviously we're not glad you're here because you're going to make us rich. We're just glad you're here. So you are welcome here. Now, most of the people who come here are not particularly welcome anywhere else. So the generosity with which we serve is critical. So a smile, allowing people to have a seat, and we'll bring that out to you. You know, those little kind of touches to us mean everything, because it's about providing a safe place and a place where people who don't belong anywhere can feel like they do belong. Our street outreach team are another one of our teams that work late, and their focus is specifically on youth, the young end. When we say youth, I mean 25 and down. They tend to clock on somewhere between 4 to 5 or 6 in the afternoon, and they tend to work till about midnight, more or less. It's an extraordinary team. They make it their business to know people, and they do that by meeting them on their own turf. So they have conversations with people who are working girls and boys, street people of all kinds, and their primary task is to know people, to build in safety if they can, and in a sense, also in that sense, to make community, to engagement, I suppose, with people, so that people have the option to be not quite so lonely as they might have been if our people weren't right there on the doorstep. Hard to measure their success because, I've been out with them and they're very skilled people, but if you had to measure their outcomes, what you'd be measuring is mostly things that didn't happen. I've been with them and you see a fight brewing and our people sort of get on both ends of the fight and they calm that end down and they calm that end down, and eventually they walk this person home that way and that person home that way, and a fight didn't happen, an ambulance wasn't called, stitches weren't made, a suicide didn't take place, and so I don't know how you measure that, but that's my overwhelming impression once I spend a night with them. They go around sensing danger before it happens and diffusing conflict before it happens. So that's the nature of their work. Once again, it's kind of about making community and acknowledging that Wayside Chapel isn't the centre of the community, but it's a part of the community. When you don't know Wayside, before you get here, if you drive past and you see people at the front, you form a mental picture about what it is you think you're going to meet. And the surprising thing is just simply to meet the people, because it is a total myth that these people are unintelligent. That is a total myth. Mostly these people are intelligent and they're just people. They're just like you and me, and there's stories to tell, and they're warm people, loving people, but they're people who've fallen over for one reason or another. So I think the most transformative thing about being at Wayside is that eventually, hopefully, the distinction between us and them goes away.